Love that. Technology. All right, y'all. Here we are. Good job, Nightbot. Thank you. Please. So make sure you head in there and take advantage of that game. All that good stuff. Please. Sorry, just validating some things really quickly. Can you give me a tip where I can find Heartwood Tree Winky Face? Wow, and the first thing you did is come in here and say, hey, listen, man, about that Heartwood. it's a little difficult to find. Listen, I'm not going to tell you exactly where to find it. I will do things to make your experience, say, a little bit better. I typically have luck finding Heartwood in these green based areas right here. So if I see green right here, all these areas is likely where I will find Heartwood. Like, for example, I've been over here by Nib the Jib and I found Heartwood right there. I found Heartwood up here. So it's just a matter of running around. It's not a common spawn. It's not a thing you'll just see a plethora of. They come far and few between, so you want to make sure that you are constantly navigating. And I think that's by design too, right? Because on one hand, you want to upgrade your stuff. On the other hand, it's like day 2 of playing. So I imagine this is designed in a way that you can't just speed run and get everything right away, right? Certain things will be harder to get due to their location being the mountains. Some things will be harder to get based on their drop rate, like you're fighting tons of Mosotops, maybe you're not getting the leather drop that you want. I think a lot of that is by design, just so you just can't speed through everything, because it's the effect of getting better materials to improve your experience, and because they will take a bit longer to get, which is more rewarding, I think, when you finally get them too. So yeah. So one of the things I want to talk about today is I just want to go through some basic stuff again, just to make sure we're all aligned on the same thing. If you see me type away like that, it's because I have 3 monitors up, so I can monitor different things, different chats, different communication areas, your chat right now, everything happening on the screen. So here's what we want to do. How about first and foremost, let's start off with the basic thing. Okay, the most rudimentary basic thing. So let's go in here. All right, I got a bunch of Garbo in here. How many of you knew that you could split stacks like that? So right here, I grab this lightwood. If I just hold down mouse and move it over, I just move lightwood from side to side, right? If I hold down the shift key and click and drag over, look what happens. How about that? So there's a certain amount, let's say you want to trade to a friend, or a certain amount you want to split up like this. All you got to do is hold down the shift key and you can do that. Take advantage of it, make a little bit of ease of use for you. So keep that in mind as one of the things that you can do. Sorry, taking notes. So that's one thing I want to touch base on. The other thing too, it works if you hold down Alt. So like I said, if you just move it regularly, you move the entire stack. If you hold down Shift, you split it in half. If you hold down Alt right here, you can take one at a time. Another just one of the small things you can take advantage of in game. Like I said, there are small things like this that I think can really improve your experience and what it is you're looking to accomplish. And those are some of the things I want to go over with you today. So I just want to cover that really quickly. Like you said, Bostova, nope. Yeah, I feel that. It's a lot of information. I mean, it's a brand new game, right? In early access, and there's a lot to do. And so when we say things like there's a lot to do, a lot of it is just min-maxing your own time by doing things like that too. So keep that in mind. Okay. Also, one of the other most basic things too is, I would say, well, trying trying to figure out if I want to discuss this now or later. How about we talk about qualities? How about that? Let's talk about qualities. How many of you are familiar with the quality system? You can go ahead and raise your hand. Actually, you can type Y if you have an idea about the quality system. And you can type in if no, I don't know about the quality system. I don't understand. What do you mean, Adrian? What are you talking about? Okay. Got a wave and a Y. Okay. 2 for 2. That's not bad. That's better than I expected. Need more context. Okay. Happy to clarify. Happy to see that. Not a problem. 1. All right. I'm not sure 1 was on the menu, but we can work with 1. So in this game, there are different qualities, right? Depending on what you craft, how you get it, and things like that. And that also deals with parts as well. And the way that it works is anything gray tier, I don't want to call it trash. So gray is just everyday stuff. It's everyday stuff. It's like you go outside and you see an ant. Oh, ant's probably gray. You can see ants all over the place, right? But white is common. Maybe common might be a soldier ant or a worker ant, right? So you go from regular ant gray to white common, which is like worker ant. Now you have green borders, and green borders are uncommon. Like, oh, that might be fire ant. You know, a little uncommon. Can't see them everywhere, but you can see them, right? Then you have blues, which are rare, and you have purples, which are epics, right? So we understand that. But one of the other things that I understand is how do we acquire these things? And that's something that I'm actually been working on a video for to make sure we all have an understanding of where to find them. But they do exist. And there's a couple of ways to attain these things. Number 1, mystery packs. So as you've discovered already, if maybe it's happened to you, as you walk around the world of Ambrose and you encounter a lot of the creatures that are hanging out here and you fight them, every now and then you get lucky. You get a mystery bag that pops out. You feel good about yourself. Pardon? Ooh. Look at that, Renee. Huh? Look at that, Renee. Mystery box. That's right, mystery. Mystery box. The mystery box can hold things like schematics. You know, schematics come in different tiers too. So one of the best ways you can go about getting higher qualities is just by going out and doing what you're doing already. Fighting mobs. And then as you fight mobs, you get access to mystery bags. Mystery bags contain different schematics of different tiers. And it's so exciting when you get one, like an epic. Get a purple out there. The icons of mystery pouches would be great icons for subs. Noted. Noted. I like that. I like that. Great message. But there's another way too you can go about it. And that's actually in here. Pressing U and you go into the skill system. It's just a little baby one I have set up right here. A baby one for babies. Ah, gold member. Thank you for gifting a sub to MKDRP. Very kind of you. So as you may have discovered already when you're crafting through this area, you have commons built into here, right? So a common granite handle, common granite crosscore, common stone handle, right? That's super important because as you go further into this skill tree, eventually, when you get right here into this perk hub, you're gonna notice there's a thing called lucky geocasting and finishing. And it even reads, increases likelihood of geocasting and finishing crafts resulting in a higher quality. Now what that means for you is that it raises the possibility that when you're crafting, even in this first tier right here, when you're crafting your common stone blade, it raises the possibility that you can craft an uncommon one. And that is super important. We're talking about fighting the different mobs out here and the AoEs, and I keep getting beat up by this, and I feel like my gear is not good enough. The jump from common to uncommon is massive. It's worlds difference, right? To go from common to uncommon. Up to, not exactly, we're talking about an up to 35% tick in efficiency and stats. So when you're crafting your stone weapon and you have a common stone blade and you go to uncommon, if you get that happening, go out there and fight the same mobs. You'll be surprised at how much more efficient you can become just by doing that, just by going in there. And like it says right there, increases the likelihood. So the two best ways, and two of the only ways to really get more access to better qualities is going out there, fighting mobs, getting schematics, and then later on also just having a lucky craft take place. I got a rare packs and I get an uncommon item. Is that so? Maybe. Maybe. When you get a mystery bag, it's just that. It's a mystery bag. There's no telling what's in there. It can change. You won't know until you open it up. And I have some really important news to you, some really fun news. But give me 1 second. I gotta do one thing really quickly, okay? So 1 moment. Okay, cool. So I'm back. For those of you who have eagle eyes, you may have noticed a new Discord post just went up. So if you're hanging out in our Discord, which I would hope that all of you are, please make sure you go in the Discord and read that long message that is there. Hang out with us, please. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, talking about qualities and quality accessibility and how you get access to those qualities, I cannot stress enough, please make sure you hop in there and take advantage of your skill tree and your perks and all of that and your expertises. And I also want to facilitate some information that I think may help players out, whether you are a brand new player and you just hopped in the world of Ambrose, or maybe you're an experienced player and there are things you already know, and I'm sure especially a lot of the F1 crew already knows this too, but I'll share some more information that'll do quality of life for you. You know what I mean? So let me take care of that really quickly. So let's say that eventually you want to go ahead and you want to reach, I don't know, culinary crafting. And who wouldn't? Right? Culinary crafting. Or right here, you want to go to finishing. If you look right here, right, you would have to cook and then perk in order to get access to culinary crafting. And maybe over here, if you want to get access to finishing, right, you'd have to geocast and geocast and geocast and geocast, right? One of the things I want to point out about this skill menu is take a look at the arrows. The arrows are put in there by design. So instead of geocasting your little tush off and just making a bunch of tiny weighted stones and just hoping you can tiny weight your stone over to finishing the entire time, maybe you're tired of making a bunch of sunscreens or small weighted stones in order to level up to get over there. You don't have to. These are branching pathways. You know, it's a choose your own adventure. Remember those adventure books you can get as a kid? Where it's like, if you want to find out what happens, if you turn down the hallway, turn to page 82. If you decide to hide under the desk, turn to page 17. It's kind of like that. So instead of just geocasting the entire time, one of the easier things to do is just to mine, right? So I mine, perk up, then I mine some more. And then I mine right here, I get to alchemy. Once I'm in alchemy, look what happens. This arrow right here branches down to finishing. Now I'm at finishing. And actually you can see it taking place down here already for me. So I didn't go from foraging to perk hub, which I could do, straight into advanced foraging. Instead, what I did is I did woodworking, advanced woodworking, and then it went down here to advanced foraging because I've been doing more woodworking than I've been doing foraging. So there are different ways you can navigate to get to expertises and perk hubs that you'd rather get to. So I've done next to no foraging, which means I can't get this perk hub yet, but I still have access to these advanced foraging materials, right? So I can keep doing foraging right here. And then as I do foraging, it's going to level up the entire tree. Now I can get access to another perk point. Now I can get access to giant natural incense as I level up. Can you reveal some creatures that drop unique recipes for armor or something? I'll tell you what, I can do you one better. Since all of you are here right now, I want to give you an exclusive look, one of those world premieres, right? Because being here in the stream is a choice. We made a Discord post about it. We made it an event. You know what happens weekly, asterisk, mostly weekly, right? We just keep our eyes out, okay? Does anyone notice anything? Do you see anything different in the background? Now keep in mind, this is not a live build presentation. This is a special build that is not representative of our final product. This is an ongoing thing. This is a build that I use to make sure that I can show you what I need to show you in an environment where I have more control over what needs to be shown, if that makes sense. But consider this an exclusive to all of you watching here on the stream. Now, if I'm not missing anything, I think those over there, those are Fadevere, right? But this one, I don't know, it seems so much bigger. It's got different antlers. It's got a different color scheme to it. Huh. I think this might be a special exclusive look at a brand new type of mob. A special Fadevere. How about that? Could that possibly be an elite Greesh? How about that? Now listen, we have a rule in this stream. If I ever get KO'd, I have to take down the never got KO'd sign. So I kind of want to engage it, but I kind of don't want to lose my never been KO'd status. Yo, play Coreborn. What do you think? Should I take it on? What do I have? What am I working with right here? Tenacious Scythe of Impact. Gear score 161. Fight! Don't be a coward! Ah! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! You can't stop me. I have unlimited sprint now. We have a brand new patch. The world is mine. Remember, all of you asked for that. All of you said, hey, listen, I want to be able to run away all the time and run wherever I want. If that had never happened, I would not have been able to escape that. I would have been out of sprint. I would have got boxed up, pine boxed, and put away. But, oh well. Oh well. Unlimited running stamina. Now I can just run away whenever I want to. Hey, hey. Ha ha. Ha ha. No, we did not. How can I evolve Fadevere to an elite Fadevere? You have to get a Fadevere stone. You have to get a Fadevere stone and you must throw it at a regular Fadevere, and it must be nighttime, and you have to be standing in between the Moss Seas and the mountains, like the exact border. There you go. I would say, as this is a test environment, if you get KO by potentially not yet balanced creature, it doesn't count. Okay. Okay. Check this out. Check this out. Okay. Okay. So I turned off my invincibility status. You want me to fight it? You want me to fight it? If you want me to fight it, type in Y or type in yes or give me an emote. If you're a subscriber, give me an emote, type Y or type yes if you want me to fight it. I have my invincibility turned off. If I die, I die. If I win, I win. Kill it, says Tactical Clan Official. Okay. Oh no, Karai, I was totally joking. You know that already. Hopefully, right? Right. We're on the same page. All right, cool. I'm not scared. Ooh, that's a lot of stamina. Yo, where did it go? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to clean out my environment really quickly. Make sure I have all the space that I need to run around like a coward. I mean, to proficiently move about the scene. Let's get this out of the way. Good. And let's just get this out of the way. You may have recalled a video where I was fighting Grizz and I was winning, and then I backdashed into a tree, and although I didn't die, because, you know, Photoshop being what it is, it did make things difficult. He cheated Iron Axe? I didn't cheat. I'm good at games. Okay. Hey. Oh God, it hurt me. All right, run it. That was a good crit. That was a good crit. Did you hear that crit? Oh. Am I the best? Via King. You know what? I think now I'm the Via King. If you beat the Via King, you become the Via King. I'm the Via King now. Thin leather and feathers. Elite, those are even easier. I don't think they're easier. It's just like I said before, I'm really good at video games. When you're really talented, things become easier. They look easier to the common eye. But like we said, this is not representative of the final product. This is a built-in playtest area. So what you just saw take place from me may not be what happens for you. You know what I mean? Plus, did you hear the crits taking place? You know what I mean? Did you hear the crits taking place? Look at that build right there. Look at that build. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on now. Congrats on the early access release. Thank you very much. That's extraordinarily kind of you to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just want to check one thing really quick. Yeah. Okay. I thought so. Okay. So I want to show you all a little secret that maybe you don't know about. Like I said, this stream is about being educational. About teaching you the rudimentary things and also things you maybe didn't know about, right? Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. Start button, you got this. Oh, trust me, I needed that. I needed that. So thank you. It looks so lit. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. And thank you all again for your continuous feedback. So one of the things I want to cover as well is gear score. Now, if you take a look at gear score, did any of you notice that your gear score is just a calculation of your stats? So if you don't count armor penetration, right? 58 plus 42 is 100. 100 plus 46 is 146. 146 plus 15, 161. That's my gear score. Armor penetration is a secondary thing right there, right? Same down here for my leather trousers. Gear score 29. Let's do the math. Critical hit 15 plus endurance 9, 24. 24 plus 5 armor 29. Chill resistance secondary plus 1. So your gear score is really just your stats added up, excluding that very last stat at the very end. Another little fun fact you can carry with you along the way. See, there's just little things like that I think can really enhance your experience in terms of figuring out, where did my gear score come from? How did that happen, right? And that's what it is too. So another thing that I'll explain too, and actually, let me go ahead and do this. Again, I'm totally not cheating. I would never do that for you. I'm totally not cheating though, okay? Totally not. Would never. Okay. So here's what I'll do. Let's just go ahead and let's get a baby town for babies. Actually, I already have a town set up, don't I? I do. Let's go there really quickly. So one of the things I wanted to show to you is that when you are building a weapon, right? One of the most important things you can do for your weapon is the blade. Okay, so as you're playing this game, if you're finding the game to be challenging in certain areas, one of the first things you can do, of course, is craft yourself a weapon that works a bit better and operates better for you as the player, so you can accomplish the goals that you have. That's where I can hold down sprint. See, I'm so used to a time method I'm so used to where I hold down sprint, let go, hold down sprint, let go, hold down sprint, let go, hold down sprint, let go. Right? Even I'm not used.
All right, listen up, folks.
Nope.
I've got
We're not going to talk to you. Something's happening over there. So I'm going to build... Oh, I want to show you all a cool little town that I built. So if you've been watching our Twitter posts, you've been watching our Instagram posts and things like that, you may have noticed that I've been doing a countdown to the release of early access of Coreborn, right? 6 days left, 5 days left, 4 days left, 1 day left, release day, right? I think this is actually one of the numbers I had built. Yeah, there's my gigantic colossal number 1. It's still up. What's up, number 1? Good to see you. Perfect. Let's go to assembly. Well, first and foremost, let me unequip this. Let's go to assembly and edit this, right? Let's disassemble. All right. Assemble a new weapon. So when you're assembling a new weapon, right? I have my handle right here. If some of you don't know about this, you can do it, of course. When you're assembling a new weapon at the assembly station, you need a handle, which I have right here. You have a crossguard right there. In this case, it's a Royalite crossguard. It is also an uncommon Royalite crossguard. I got this from a drop, actually. It was a mystery bag drop. So instead of just having a normal crossguard, I got access to a Royalite crossguard that came from a mystery bag drop, and it gave me the schematic for it, I think. So, bueno. If you're looking to do better damage, the most important part of your weapon, and I cannot stress this enough, is your blade. Okay? Having your attack is great. Of course, having armor is always nice to have, right? Having more HP is nice. Having more endurance, be able to jump out of the way or slide out of the way, shuffle out of the way without losing all your stamina, or actually regaining it back quicker, I should say. Granite blade. And the reason why this is the most important piece is because of the armor penetration. Armor penetration is a thing that some of the higher enemies have. So as you go out there and you go to the mountains, and you're encountering enemies that have some really, really deep armor, you can't see that stat. Armor penetration is what you want to have. That's going to help you penetrate. So as you're crafting your weapon together, it doesn't mean the handle and crossguard aren't as important. They all serve a purpose for sure. But if your problem is penetrating mobs in order to do more damage to them, or feeling like they're out leveling you, one of the things you can do to alleviate that pain is by finding a better blade or crafting a better blade. Because armor penetration is what's going to come through in clutch more no matter what, right? And you can see right here too, as you highlight it, it gives you a preview on the right hand side of how the values will change along the way. So because this attack has plus 39 to it, right there, my current weapon is at 19 attack. I hover over there. That's up that way. So put it in there. Now I have my weapon back, right? But it was a green border weapon, and that's really beneficial. So if you're finding yourself having trouble with certain mobs, one of the things you want to do is please make sure that you're working around your blade. That's going to save you a lot. What? Do all blades have armor penetration? That's actually a very good question. I would ask Play Coolbarn for that. So here's the thing. Let me see if I can actually find another. Let's find another name mob. Okay, let's find another elite. I'm getting some detailed intel right now. I'm gonna see if I can navigate and find someone else. Let me see where I am right now on the map. And let's see if I can find one. Actually, I'm kind of near an area we might run into one. Let's go try to find another elite. It's okay, all blades. There you go. Probably not the Twig sword. That's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna go over some more skill stuff in a second, but I'm gonna try to find another elite for you all. That sound good? Because we already saw the Kingveer, right? Let's see if we can find more opposition. Let me see where I am in reference point to where they could spawn. Okay. Okay, this shouldn't be too bad. So there's no guarantee that I'll run into one, but I am going to try to locate one for you, and I know just the place to go. So I'm going to use a little magic. Again, like I said, I don't cheat in the game, obviously, so take from this what you will. Just gonna it's gonna make life easier for me really quickly. Which actually makes life easier for all of you too, by the way. Okay, perfect. Now we're a bit closer to where we need to be. And then I'm gonna actually do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And like the screen says, in case you can't read it, I'm totally not cheating. So please understand that. I'm totally not cheating right now. I would never do that. I'll prove it to you. See? Totally not cheating. Wouldn't do that. Ever. Would never cheat. Hi, Sharuka. Welcome. Welcome into the stream. Good to see you here. But yeah, totally not cheating. So now we're in an area where we have a possibility of maybe seeing another elite. Oh God! They're so mean. Leave me alone. These Tariba have such an attitude problem. I don't understand what their problem is. Like, why do you bully me? I love you. I would never bully you. Look, they're so angry. They're angry and rude. Now, the biggest thing is I don't want to fall down there because that's miserable. Let's see here. Can Adrian find an elite? The video game, the experience. I'm gonna keep going this way. Bad horsey, I love that face. I'm telling you right now, the next driver that attacks me is getting folded. I forgot to re-equip my sword. I'm in shambles. You wanted this. Good crit. Don't do that. I love crits so much. They're my favorite thing in any video game. Whenever you crit it. We need a mystery pouch emote because every time this happens, we need to have the chat spam mystery pouch emotes. This needs to be a thing. Look at this. There it is. Open for a surprise. Now, just like we did last time, we gotta wonder, what's gonna be in our mystery pouch? What's it gonna be? Tell you what, I have an idea. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Do a poll. All right, new poll. What's, oh, that's caps lock. What's in the pouch? Schematic. Incense. Anything else? All right, there you go. Polls up for 1 minute. There you go. What's going to be in this mystery pouch? Is it going to be anything else? Is it going to be incense or a schematic? A god tier weapon? I like your enthusiasm. I truly do. I hope that's the case. Surely to rabbit boots. Okay. A lot of votes for anything else so far. Antidote. Antidote is the new instance. Oh, right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're totally right. That would explain why nobody voted for that. Okay. You're all saying anything else. Okay. Okay. You're all saying anything else? Okay. Why don't we open it and find out? Okay, let's open it and find out. A cloth hat. Okay. This is actually very important because this is kind of thing I want to go over too. Is let's take for example where we currently, let's make sure I'm not in an aggro area. Might I be aggro for something? Okay, cool. Let's just go over here. Just in case. Alright, cool. So if you look right here, we want to make sure we get across the idea that just because you go from cloth to leather does not mean that leather is better than cloth. You know what I mean? It's just that they offer different experiences. So with the cloth hat, I have a good amount of endurance, I have a good amount of critical hit, a little bit of attack, and I have some heat resistance, right? Leather mask, I've got much more critical hit, 4 more, much more attack, and a little fewer armor as well, right? And chill resistance. So it's not a matter of is leather better than cloth? It's a matter of what's your play style? If you're playing by yourself, do you find yourself unable to maintain your stamina, your endurance? Are you not hitting hard enough, but you never get hit? Are you getting hit all the time and you don't care how hard you hit? Are you playing with friends and you're never the one getting hit? They are? Those are the kind of things you can talk about or plan as you are doing your crafting along the way and as you're fighting different schematics. That's what details the importance between the different armor tiers. Things like that. Let's just go ahead and remove that too. I don't need that. I don't need that either. It's like for me, obviously, endurance, critical hit. I like the sound of crits. So I'm going to maintain that right there and keep that there. Cloth I would do if stamina was a problem for me right now. Endurance was a problem, but it's not. But maybe I'll keep it in my inventory and I'll take it to a box later on and store it there. Just so I know later on I have access to it if my playstyle changes or I start playing with someone else and I approach my battles differently. No way to compare it to an equipped item just by pressing a key. Oh, you mean like hovering over it, holding down like Control or Shift or Alt and doing an immediate comparison to what you have installed or equipped? No, but that's a very good idea. You got a note of that, Renee? Okay, perfect. Already. Thank you. Yeah, that's an extremely good idea. Anything quality of life like that is a bonus. And those are the kind of things that you could see implemented into the game as you say it out loud during streams, as you announce it in social media, as you go to the ideas section of the Discord. Those are the kind of things where we're like, oh yeah, that is actually a very good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, for sure. So good idea. Maintain that. Keep it in mind. And we'll circle around back to it. So thank you for that. Now, let's see. I'm going to try to spy with my little eyes something that begins with uh-oh. There's the Ultracore shining up there. And then when we get up here, if I don't see it, then we'll start talking about the skill system and how that best works, okay? Also, just because I'm showing you a little behind the scenes stuff, I'm once again not going to cheat, but, you know, possibility that I may. All right. Okay. Okay.
Nice to see you here in Amber.
Hey, nice to see you too, man. Good talk. Very nice buff food. Hey, listen, man, it's just like all the sport athletes tell us, eat your Wheaties. That's all I did. I ate my Wheaties. When you eat the Wheaties, you get the Zoomies, right? Okay. Maybe up here? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, looking around, looking around. Oh my god! We found, oh my god! We found one! So fast. Okay, hold on. We're gonna fight this thing for real. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Meow. It's so bully. I swear, I used to think it was Grizz that were the meanest thing in the game. It's not. It's these things. All right. Let's make this a fair fight. All right, y'all. Let's do this. Do you want to do this? You better run. Oh my god, I'm going to die. Oh, wow. This thing is not massive AoE. Oh my god, that AoE range is so big. It's got arrows stuck inside of it. That's so cool. Bro. There's no way. You win. You win. Just gonna make sure we edit that out and post. Yeah, I teleported back, obviously. I teleported back because I didn't feel like, well, the thing is, I'm not ready to show off what it drops. Because I mean, surely I would have beaten it, but I didn't want to show off what it possibly could drop because that could ruin things, you know, in front of the scene. So, you know, that's just intentional. So, haha, intentional, just so we're all on the same page, right? Okay, perfect, great. So there you got a sneak preview of 2 of the elites that can show up in the area as well. Got some tips on how to section off things easier. Some tips on different qualities. The importance of a blade. Nobody know that? I like your attitude. Honestly, let's go ahead and showcase that too. I like this. Streamer, I swear. So one more thing I want to show you too. There's been some questions surrounding the skills section. So I want to help everyone better understand how this operates, okay? So right now, as it works out with your skill tree, as you know, there are 3 icons right here. An arrow up, which allows you to gain XP. Arrow down, which allows you to lose XP. And then lock, don't gain or lose any XP. And I've seen a few people running into the problem where they suddenly have everything maxed out and they're like, oh, well, what happens if I max out? Where do I go? What happens if I decide I want to do something else instead? And I'm happy that you bring that up. What you want to do at that point is you have to choose what it is if you're looking to change and do a different build, you have to figure out where you want to pull those resources from. So once you're fully locked out, what you can do is, let's say, like right now I have all these locked. So let's say I don't want them to pull from any of these areas right here, right? Then I would just fully lock these up to make sure nothing is being pulled from those. Okay? So all these are locked up, you can't pull for those. And I decide that I want to heavily invest right here into advanced carpentry. Okay? What I would do then is I decide that I want to pull it from my foraging, right? Or even my advanced cooking. What I would then do is just click this to lower XP, keep this up, right? And then that way, as I start leveling up my advanced carpentry when it's fully locked and it's trying to pull XP from somewhere, it's going to pull it from wherever you have lower progress or the lowest possible station if it's open, like this. It's open progress, you can gain or lose XP. But since you're prioritizing gaining XP in advanced carpentry, it's going to try to pull right here from your lowest skill area. That's not currently locked. In this case, which would be advanced cooking. So that's one of the ways you can do it right there as well. And then if you decide you just want to do it down manually, then here, let me just show you. Probably easier to showcase than it is to talk about, right? Let's go here. There. Let's lock that. Should work this way. I like more signs of danger, Sorgoth, seeping into the world. The arrow's an amazing touch. Thank you. Happy that you like it. Foraging. Good chop, Adrian. Nice chop. But the skill system is actually very intuitive in terms of figuring out what it is you want to specialize and whom you want to specialize in what. So if you're not playing solo and you have an entire array of people out there who are playing the game with you, you can figure out what it is you want to do and specialize in. I'll try and figure out what it is I want to emphasize as well. Oh, what I want to emphasize is one of the things I feel like that's not getting out there message-wise. Oh, that's right, I died. I forgot I dropped everything. That's really funny. Why didn't die? One of the things I want to emphasize is you can trade everything. So if you're with friends and you want to give them stuff, if you want to give them schematics, if you want to give them any light wood, if you want to give them armor, if you want to give them weapons, just trade it to them. Everything is tradable. Trade everything. Trade everything. This also reinforces going back to Coreheim. So if your world, if you have maybe one or two friends and they're not online and you're not talking to anyone else, go to Coreheim. Step into Coreheim, look for other people, and then communicate in there. Open the chat up and say, hey, I have these. Do you have this? Yes, I have those. Cool. Can I have some? Sure. And then trade away. That's part of the social survival experience. I heard there's an XP cap so you can't max every skill. Is that true? Yes, it is true. You're meant to be a specialist. You are meant to specialize in things. So for example, if I were to go in here, what I would probably do is I would 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. I could probably go through this entire first 3 sections to right here, right? So I could go all smelting, all mining, all geocasting, and then I would get logging up to here, and then I couldn't do any more. So it's a max on, yeah, there you go. It's not an XP cap, but a cap on max perk point. But you can forget perks and send your skills and something else and learn that instead. Yes. So if I go to these first 3 tiers right here, because the amount of perk points that I would have from these gained sections right here, because as you level up, you see you unlock perk points along the way. Depending on the category you go, 1 perk point. As you unlock those max perk points, at a certain point, you stop. And that's where you have to start working backwards. So these first 3 sections right here, I could lock up and then get right about here, and then I'd be done. I wouldn't be able to do any of this down here. So it's kind of a way that you start planning ahead of time. How do I want to do this? What do I want to specialize in? And that's kind of the route you take. That's why you can utilize these arrows so well. Because if you want to navigate between the different areas, you can do so by leveling up to here only, and then dropping down right there, and then dropping down right there, right? And then going this way. And that can save you some steps along the way, just by taking advantage of that. But trade with everything. Utilize these steps, because if you just play the game, right? And you're only collecting things and you're only fighting mobs but not taking advantage of skill tree, make it a bit more difficult for yourself along the way. Because all you got to do is go down here and look at the milestone and look at the things you have access to, and look at the things that would make your life easier if you had access to it. Not only with you, but with a group. You know what I mean? So right here, lucky outfitting is no different up here with lucky geocasting. Well, not lucky geocasting, but you know what I mean. Smarter geocasting. So if you go down here, if I'm crafting, right? For everyone, I'm crafting rare leather chest pieces. There's a chance I can get an epic chest piece. So all these times you're trying to get better materials, or you're trying to go into the mountains, God forbid, and see the forbidden tree, which I've seen twice, I think, since I've been working behind the scenes. Or you're looking to fight more mobs, or you run into an elite like that. Start doing this. Go down this pathway, get a group together, get some friends, and have one person focus just on chess pieces. Start cranking those out. See if there's a chance you can get an epic one. It may come along more so than you think, but that is one of the things you can do to just make your life easier, right? And also, as you're leveling the skill tree up, the further you are in the pathway, the more XP you get for doing the crafting. To better explain that, let's stick to armoring, okay? If I want to continue leveling armor up through advanced armoring, I will get more XP in the armoring tree by crafting uncommon cloth gauntlets and big armor patches and refined linen. I'll get more XP along the way than, let's say, crafting down here a bunch of linen. But if you'd rather not grind out and get more XP by crafting a bunch of refined linen, then you could just spam linen as a way to keep raising up your overall armoring level. That's a route you can go. It's all about your playstyle and your patience and what materials you have access to. So, you know, there you go. There you go. I hope that makes sense for everyone. Yeah, I'm just dropping and adding perks as I go along. You know, as long as I have access to them. So right now I have 5 in use. I activate this one. I decide, you know what, I want to put it in here instead. Cool. I'll deactivate this one. Activate this one, rather. I'll use as many as that I have access to, as long as they are open for me to use. So I figured out, you know what? I don't care about gaining more chances for rare resources while logging. I'll just unequip that. It goes away in the tree. I can go down here and I can go, you know what? I'd rather actually increase my heat and chill resistance by 5 each, which can be truly beneficial depending on where you're looking to travel. Activate that, boom. Now I'm built to travel wherever I want to go. Not fully, you need more resistance than that. But that is a step you can take. Like I said, there's different ways you can tailor your adventure, but it's all about careful planning. That's why the game really is, I think, for me, this is just my personal opinion, I think it's tailored to a playstyle that explores the long run, right? It's not you log in for 1-2 days and you get everything exactly where you want it to be, right? It's one of those games that takes time and takes care and love to figure out exactly what route you want to go. Especially if you're doing it solo. It might take a bit longer to go about and do all that, but you can do it. But navigating in here, choosing the path you want to take, choosing how you want to get there, choosing what you want to craft, trying to get different qualities, teaming up with someone else, getting in touch with people in Coreheim, you can do that. But you can unequip your perks that way. Just be careful that you don't unequip all the ones that lead to a different pathway, right? So fast beyond right here, as you can see, this is my last perk in this hub. If I unequip it, I lose access to that entire tree. But if I re-equip it, I'm back there. But it also saves my progress too. So even though I unequipped this perk hub right here, and I no longer have access to carpentry, or my advanced carpentry, if I re-equip it, the progress that I made into that category is still there. See what I'm saying? And for sure, Kawaii Gaming, the solo life can be tough. You can do it, but that's what the Discord is toward too. The Discord is reaching out and asking other people, hey, would you like to play with me? Going into Coreheim and saying, hey, Coreheim people, would you like to play with me? Also, I want to show you another quality of life thing, okay? This one is huge. And I think I have a way to show you this that would be pretty cool. Let me make sure I have it. So check this out, okay? This is my hand. Hello. Hi, stream. So if I go over here, right, and I approach this lightwood tree, right? As you know, usually you click, 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 right? We know about that, right? What if I told you coming to a theater near you is a quality of life choice in the next patch? Because again, your feedback matters so much. The things that you tell us matters so much. Roger, 92. Everyone do it with me. Everyone, I need you to hold down your mouse key. Hold down your left click button right now. We're going to do it together as a Coreborn family. Okay? So mouse up. I'm going to hold down this button. Okay, here's proof. Ready? Voila. Just like that. In the next patch, you will be able to hold down your left mouse click for the ease of access for doing things like that. How cool is that? That's why when we say things like, please give us feedback, please post in the ideas section, please report your bugs, please show us your satisfaction, please leave a Steam review, all that stuff, it's true because we're listening, right? The game's in early access, it's the earliest playable version, but we're not done. We want to keep making it better. We make it better with you, by your suggestions, by the things you say. It would be nice if you could. That's one of those, it would be nice if you could. So there you go. When you tell me that we can auto run, my fingers won't die. I never said that. Never said that. But as you know, you can go and escape, and you can do a gameplay features survey, which I would encourage all of you to do. Please go in here and take the survey to take a look at some future things that can be integrated into the game, make your life easier. Is there going to be a block action during combat? I personally can't speak to that. From a personal perspective, I don't know. It could be neat, right? Instead of just having to dodge out of the way of things, instead you could just, instead of doing all this, things like that, then you can just hold down a block button and just choose to take partial damage based on how much armor you have. From a community manager aspect, just speaking from me, I think that'd be cool. But it'll also depend on how much armor you have, right? And then probably detailing how much you would block, whether it be a set amount determined by the gear you have, or it would be a roll that would check against your armor, the attack of the enemy, and then assigning a random amount that you choose to, not choose to, but you have taken off. Well, I don't know if shield is the direction, because each of the nations, like this is, of course, we're in Ambrose for the headiness, each of the nations is going to have their own unique abilities and skill sets based on their nation. So right now we have great swords, and I just don't know if the headedness are going to be using shields. Yeah, thank you, Coreborn. Very soon. Very soon, trademark button is the date and time for the next patch. So please keep that in mind. For sure. But those are just a few of the small things I think that can really help everyone out in terms of making your life easier. Keeping in mind the different quality you have access to, utilizing your skill tree. Please, if you haven't heard already, there's this button, F1. It's exhausting, right? To keep hearing it over and over again, but it really bears repeating. Because even the things like, there are things in here people ask about all the time. If you go into building, one of the most common things asked is, how do I destroy things? While reticle is over a blueprint, X to destroy a building piece. Or over a built piece, X to delete blueprint. But I also understand the desire to want to just hop into a game and start playing it right away. No tutorial, no F1, no FAQ, no video guides. I want to play right now. I don't need you, Jib. I don't need you, F1. I don't need you, wiki page. I don't need you, Discord. I don't need all that. All I need is me. But sometimes you need this as well. How do you get more rare materials? They're drop rates. They're drop rates. If you keep fighting Masotops over and over again, you're going to find out sooner or later that there are some things that drop more frequently from Masotops than other things they drop. Just got to keep battling. You know what I mean? Same thing when you're fighting Teraiva. Or you're fighting Aestir. Or certain mobs that spawn at certain times or certain conditions. Wink. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Don't leave me hanging. Show me some armor that isn't Fadevir. Soon. Soon trademark. If you hold down Alt US keyboard and press 0153, that'll give you trademark, and that is soon trademark. You don't need F1. Oh, Greece, not you. We need you F1 for sure. But y'all do need to utilize F1 for sure. And make sure you use the questions on that stuff too. And just in case you all didn't hear, did you know? Did you know? Little DYK, did you know? I'm gonna go ahead and link it in here. Did y'all know there's a roadmap? Look at that. I would highly encourage you all to click that. Okay? And stay up to date with that. So as you go in there, you can take a look and see what is in their idea bucket, what's going to be in the next content drop, what's planned for early access phase 1, what's planned for early access right now. And so a lot of times you're asking the question, when's this, when's that, has this been discussed? You can go in there and you can take a live look at what's in progress. It's not hidden from anyone. You know what I mean? It's available information. So there you go. But those are all things to keep in mind. So we got to show off some elites. Get to show off the new hold down mouse click, which makes life easier. We explained a lot of the rudimentary stuff as well. Some more quality of life changes that are coming. So I think this is stream. I love this change the most, actually. Jumping with a greatsword. You don't just kind of stay in place. That's one of my personal favorite changes, to be honest. But thank you very much. I hope all of you enjoyed the presentation.